In 14th century Europe, jousting has emerged as the most beloved sport, captivating both nobles and commoners, even though only knights can participate. One fateful day, squires William, Roland, and what discover their lord, Sir Ector, lifeless after sustaining injuries in a jousting tournament. This unfortunate event leaves them without employment, but their hunger after 3 days without food drives them to seek a way to earn some money. Unbeknownst to the tournament organizers, Ector has passed away, sparking an idea in William's mind. He will disguise himself as Ector and continue in the competition. Having always aspired to be a jousting knight and having assisted Ector in his training, William feels confident in his ability to fight. With his helmet securely in place, he believes no one will recognize the difference. Initially, Roland is skeptical about the plan, but he and what ultimately decide to support William and see where this adventure leads. As the tournament unfolds, William astounds everyone with a flawless victory, earning a lavish gold feather as his reward. The trio later sells the feather and splits the earnings evenly. However, William hatches another scheme and takes the money back, leaving his friends with just a single coin each. He proposes that they maintain the ruse and aim for championship status, suggesting they invest in better equipment to secure even greater winnings. Roland and what are not on board with this idea and even confront William to reclaim their share, but he remains steadfast, eventually appealing to their better nature to join him. Together, they purchase new gear and dedicate themselves to rigorous training leading up to the next tournament, with William honing his skills to perfection. A month later, as they journey to the nearest competition, they stumble upon a man without any clothes. The renowned writer Geoffrey Chaucer has recently fallen victim to a robbery. William, introducing himself as Sir Ulrich, is quickly seen through by Geoffrey, who proposes a bargain. If they provide him with food and clothing, he will create a forged patent of nobility for William to use in the upcoming tournament. The trio is wary of Geoffrey's intentions, but with limited options, they reluctantly agree, with what issuing a stern warning of violence should Geoffrey betray them. Upon reaching town, they are relieved to discover that the counterfeit patent is accepted by the tournament organizers, leading William to hire Geoffrey as his herald. While waiting for his turn, William spots Lady Jocelyn in the crowd and is instantly smitten. Eager to speak with her, he trails her through the town, but she remains tight-lipped about her name. His attempts to follow her into the church while still mounted result in his ejection. Afterward, William triumphs in his first match, but concerns about his armor begin to creep in. Suddenly, he is confronted by the local gambling officials, demanding payment for Geoffrey's debts. It turns out Geoffrey's tale of robbery was a ruse. He has a gambling addiction and faces dire consequences if his lord isn't compensated. Ignoring what's outrage, William tells the men to release Geoffrey, vowing to settle the debt after he wins the tournament. Following that, William enters the sword fights, emerging victorious and allowing Geoffrey to showcase his flair for storytelling to the crowd. William's prowess is undeniable as he triumphs in the sword competition, paving the way for his return to the jousting arena. He continues to excel there, but his armor sustains damage, and none of the blacksmiths are willing to accept a promise of payment for repairs. Even blacksmith Kate turns him down, but William, aware of the prevailing opinions about female blacksmiths, cleverly suggests that the others doubt her abilities due to her gender, persuading her to take on the task. Among the spectators at the jousting event are Jocelyn and her lady-in-waiting, Christiana, who are approached by the jousting champion, Count Adhemer, who has his sights set on Jocelyn. He boasts about his army engaged in battle in France and his undefeated record in jousting, while explaining the scoring system to Jocelyn. Their conversation is cut short when William arrives, eager to impress Jocelyn with some poetry he recently learned from Geoffrey. Unfortunately, Adhemer publicly ridicules him, forcing William to retreat in embarrassment. Before the next match, Geoffrey introduces William with great enthusiasm, spinning tales of his heroic exploits. William performs admirably, but Adhemer critiques him, claiming he lacks style and technique, although he concedes that William's failure to shield his eyes makes him audacious. William's opponent, recognizing his impending defeat, insists on finishing the match honorably, as he has never left a contest unfinished. Out of compassion, William agrees to a draw in their final match, allowing his opponent to withdraw while he moves forward in the tournament. Adhemer perceives this act as a sign of weakness, but Jocelyn views it as a powerful display of mercy. Later that evening, Adhemer sends Jocelyn a note promising to win the tournament for her, but she remains indifferent, recognizing that his motivations are rooted in his own pride and a desire for women to remain quiet. Instead, she finds herself more captivated by William, the only knight who hasn't vowed to win for her, which makes her consider the possibility of him winning her affection. The following day, Jocelyn sends William her pashmina as a good luck charm and allows Christiana to finally reveal her name to him. In the climactic match against Adhemer, William starts strong, racking up points, but Adhemer seizes the opportunity to strike him on the head, knocking him out cold. While unconscious, William reminisces about his childhood dreams of becoming a knight, inspired by his father John, who always encouraged him to pursue his aspirations despite the odds. Upon waking, He sees Adhemer picking up Jocelyn's pashmina and challenging him to train harder for a future rematch. Despite being knocked out, William still wins the sword tournament, earning a prize that helps him settle debts with the gamblers and Kate. Speaking of Kate, she notes that William's armor isn't tailored for him and offers to craft a new set if they take her to Paris. William declines, eager to leave, but Christiana arrives to inform him that he must attend the banquet since Jocelyn wants to coordinate their outfits. This revelation prompts William to reconsider his plans, and after agreeing to wear green, the group springs into action. Roland will prepare his attire while Geoffrey teaches him the art of dancing. Unfortunately, the classes are not progressing well, and when Kate catches them in a heated argument, William quickly apologizes to her and persuades her to help them improve. At the banquet, William seizes the opportunity to converse with Jocelyn and share more of his poetry. Adhemer attempts to belittle him again by suggesting he dances like a rustic peasant, but William showcases his skills, seamlessly blending into the dance party and leaving Adhemer visibly irritated. The following day, Kate presents William with specially designed armor, proudly adorned with her emblem. Although William hesitates, believing the armor to be too light and small, Kate reveals her innovative method of reheating metal, which makes the armor both lightweight and durable. The other men are skeptical, so they conduct a test, and they are astonished when William is struck yet feels no pain. A week later, William enters another tournament. The crowd mocks his slender armor, but he quickly silences them by winning his first match with ease. Jocelyn watches from the sidelines, while Adhemer, who also came to compete, withdraws upon discovering that his opponent is Prince Edward in disguise. Geoffrey learns of this and advises William to step back to avoid the king's wrath, but William notices Edward's disappointment at not having anyone to fight and chooses to face him anyway. During their match, William reveals that he knows Edward's true identity, impressing the prince with his bravery. Ultimately, William triumphs in the tournament, but he remains in a foul mood for not having the chance to confront Adhemer. This leads him to snap at Jocelyn when she invites him to the banquet, causing her to leave upset, thinking he's being rude. As weeks go by, William continues to dominate tournaments, yet he still hasn't faced Adhemer, who has been called away to the Battle of Poitiers. Even amidst the chaos of war, Adhemer inquires about the tournament results, growing increasingly frustrated as he learns of William's ongoing victories. A month goes by without a glimpse of Jocelyn, prompting William to pen a heartfelt letter in hopes of winning her back. Struggling to express his emotions, he enlists Geoffrey, who fills the letter with his own poetic flair and the sentiments shared by their friends about past romances. What takes on the task of delivering the letter, and Jocelyn is moved to tears by the beautiful words. The following day, What returns with a message from Jocelyn. She vows to come to Paris to watch him joust and sends him a gentle kiss for good luck. Meanwhile, Geoffrey suggests that since Adhemer is also out of the tournament, they should place bets on William's success. Later, William meets Jocelyn at the local church, but she quickly feels let down. She had hoped for more poetry, yet William merely promises to win the tournament for her, as knights are wont to do. Frustrated with this pretense, Jocelyn gives him an ultimatum. If he truly loves her, he must lose in her name. Angered by such a demand, William storms out of the church, unwilling to accept defeat. However, as the tournament unfolds, he has a change of heart and starts to lose on purpose. His friends are baffled, believing he's lost his mind over a woman and fretting about their wagers, but William remains unfazed. In a fortunate turn of events, Jocelyn finally recognizes the sincerity of his love, and during the breaks between matches, she sends Christiana to tell William he should win the tournament for her. He takes her advice, securing Geoffrey a hefty sum from his bets. That evening, Jocelyn visits William in his tent after he skips the banquet due to his injuries. She reveals that she has discovered his true identity after Christiana overheard their conversations, but reassures him that his origins don't matter to her, leading to a night of intimacy between them. A few days later, the group makes their way to London for the World Championship. For many, it has been months, even years, since they last set foot in their hometown, but for William, it has been a staggering 12 years. He vividly recalls his last day there as a child when John took him to Ector to become his squire, sacrificing his own son's presence for William's future. William feared he might forget the way home, but John reassured him that he only needed to follow his own path. During the tournament's opening ceremony, William strides alongside the other knights, basking in the admiration of the crowd, and he sees reflections of himself in the children who chant his name. Jocelyn is there to cheer him on, and Adhemer has re-entered the tournament scene, vowing to defeat William mercilessly and win Jocelyn's heart, claiming he has already begun talks with her father about marriage. After triumphing in all his matches on the first day, William decides to revisit his old neighborhood. With the help of an enthusiastic young fan, he locates his father, who has sadly lost his sight. Initially, William introduces himself as Ulrich, delivering a message from John. But John quickly realizes the truth and beams with joy upon recognizing his beloved son. They embrace and share heartfelt stories over drinks, oblivious to the fact that Adhemer has been lurking nearby, watching them. The following morning, as William prepares for the tournament, Jocelyn and Geoffrey arrive with troubling news. Edhemer has discovered his true identity and is waiting with a dozen royal guards to arrest him publicly. His friends urge him to flee, and Jocelyn expresses her willingness to endure hardship as long as they are together. Nevertheless, William refuses to let anyone strip him of his dignity. He chooses to stand tall, marching into the arena with his friends by his side. True to expectations, William is swiftly apprehended and thrown into jail. Edhemer seizes the moment to torment William, relentlessly striking him while hurling insults and mockery. Eventually, William finds himself on the guillotine, surrounded by his friends who desperately try to shield him from an enraged mob, pelting them with vegetables. Just as the chaos escalates, Prince Edward intervenes, proclaiming William a true knight for his mercy and honor. He commands the guards to free William, revealing that historians have discovered his noble lineage, and he knights him on the spot, officially dubbing him Sir William. The tournament resumes with the prince and princess in attendance, yet Jocelyn is nowhere to be seen. The final showdown pits William against Edhemer, but it starts off poorly. Edhemer, a deceitful opponent, uses a sharpened lance to wound William in the shoulder. With a serious injury, William struggles to wield his lance, allowing Edhemer to rack up points. Edhemer continues his taunts, but hope ignites in William when he spots Jocelyn arriving with John. Determined to win, William sheds his armor for better mobility and asks what to secure the lance to his arm. Before the final charge, Geoffrey realizes he hasn't introduced the match, so he delivers a rousing speech to energize the crowd, reminding them that a commoner is set to triumph over a noble. With the score stacked against him, William knows he must unhorse Edhemer to claim victory. It's a challenging jousting maneuver, but fueled by determination, he charges forward, shouting his true name as he strikes Edhemer with his lance. His skill shines through, and Edhemer crashes to the ground, securing William the championship title. As John sheds tears of joy and Jocelyn rushes to William for a celebratory kiss in the arena, Geoffrey resolves to document William's ascent to knighthood, marking the beginning of his first short story in the Canterbury Tales.